So new TSS or VSS, whatever the internet wants to call it. It's a new one. I just put it in maybe 3 days ago. Drove the car the first day. She ran fine, ran great actually, better than the old one. Hadn't driven it for about the weekend. Today's Monday. Got in the car on my way to work, and I realized that Speedo is not working. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a little bit here. I'm at a red light, so just give me a second. So yeah, new Speedo worked first day. Give it a couple days, stopped working. Now, as you can see, driving, and everything else works. You know, RPMs, oil pressure, coolant temp, everything works. Obviously, you know, it's different sensors hooked up to different things. VSS or Speedo not working. So I'm thinking what it was when I plugged it in, I didn't clean the hole that it came out of, so and there was some transmission fluid leaking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug it, pull it out, clean the hole, clean the sensor. Hope to God that it didn't get ruined if there was transmission fluid in it. Hoping transmission fluid didn't completely ruin electronics in it. Throw it on the drill, plug it into the car, test to see if the Speedo's working. And yeah, every once in a while, I actually it just happened once on my way before the freeway, the overdrive light was flashing, so that tells me that it is the VSS or TSS. The names are interchangeable, you know. It's a vehicle speed sensor, a transmission speed sensor. They both do the same thing. I think the transmission speed sensor is just on these older vehicles. It has the gear on it. So I'm going to basically do that and wish me luck. All right, so on further inspection, this is the new transmission speed sensor, and this is the old one. If you noticed, I took the clip off of the old one because this clip was actually loose and it was letting this shaft come straight out. So I tried to swap them at first, and this is a little bit too wide for this channel or gap that it's supposed to go in. So what I ended up doing was really just kind of forcing this guy further down into that little gap there. If you can see, there's still like a little bit of light. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take it to the shop. Not really the shop, but you know, inside the house I got like a little workshop. And just try to press it further in there to make sure that this shaft doesn't come out. Because what it is basically is, it's a straight, like this gear is connected via a straight metal rod that goes back, and then has a notch on either side of it that locks into the rest of the body of the sensor. But right here, there's an indent in that rod for this clip to get pressed into. Let me see if you can see it better here. Yeah, you can see right there. That little lip you see inside that is the rod itself. See? This rod right there. Actually, yeah, that was even better, yeah. So, what was happening was, I took this out of the 4runner, and this rod popped right out and stayed in the hole up there. So, I took my pliers, fished it out, saw that it was just loosely, on this one, it was just loosely going in and out or whatever the heck. So I ended up, oh shit, dang. So I ended up realizing that the clip was loose, and this was popping out of this housing, just like this is, and that's because the clip, like I said, was loose. So I'm gonna see about fixing that little light gap. I want to press that further in there, and she should be back on the road, working just fine. All right, guys, back in the shop. So pretty much this is the issue I was running into. Was I'll actually take this clip off because this is the old VSS. So let's just pretend that I'm pulling it out of the car right now, okay? Actually, I'll put this in the vice grip. Hold on a second, give me a second. So let's pretend that I'm just pulling this out of the car, the transmission. Basically, what had happened was I pulled it out and I noticed that this was still in the car. So I looked inside. Can't really see it in the inside lights, but I saw that there was like another kind of rod, and you can't see it in this lighting, but inside of that hole there are these two slots. There are these two, there's a piece of metal that goes into these two slots there. And I realized that it can only go in, let's see if it's lined up. So if I turn it, it lines up and sits right in there, right? Now what had happened was apparently the clip on the new TSS was not securely placed in the car. So let's see. It was kind of, let me see here, because this one's kind of dirty still. There we go. So this is with it being lined up. The clip was just higher than the rest of the shaft. So the shaft would just pull out. And that's because this gap that the shaft is supposed to sit into was just a, oh, no shit, well there it goes. It's fine, this is the old VSS. Let's see here. Yeah. This slot right here was tapering. Notice how this is perfectly flat on both sides. Well, because it tapered inwards, the clip was having a hard time sitting deep into it. So what I did was I took the new VSS, the VSS that's in the car now. I took it to my bench. Got, you know, just this, like anything that's like wide tooth, I guess. What is this? I don't even, whatever. Just some type of clamp. And I basically, let me see here. Basically what I did was I put the clip in there, make sure it was seated nice, that this wouldn't slip out, right? Put the clip in there, got my grip, and I literally just fucking went around it and just squeezed it back into place. I did that around the whole thing. This clip is deformed because I removed it, but let's see. Basically went top to bottom of the clip. Oh. And squeezed, and then that made the clip sit into that divot. This clip is completely, yeah, no bueno anymore. All right, so moment of truth. Let's check it out. Yeah! Woo! All right, that was it. That was it, man. That was literally it. Thank God it wasn't anything more complicated than that. Thank God that shaft wasn't short enough to freaking fall out. So, alright guys, that's it. So yeah, if you guys end up seeing this video and you're having the same issues as me, double check your VSS or TSS or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, when I first got it, I noticed that the clip didn't seem like it was as low as it should have been. But I thought, you know, I thought it would be fine. I didn't really know much about how that stuff was built or how it was made or anything like that. So, you know, I'm still kind of new to this whole thing. I've been troubleshooting and working on this car, learning as I go for the past 3 years. Small things and now stuff like this. So Speedo's working perfect. I just did a little quick test drive down the street and it looks good. She's not loose. And yeah, perfect, guys. So yeah, if you learned anything, if you're having the same, or how about this, if you're having the same symptoms as me, new TSS, put it in the car, was working, and then inexplicably stopped working, take that thing back out, double check the rod, that's inside of that TSS or VSS, like the gear rod. Double check that thing isn't just falling out. And if it is, go ahead, put that clip back on there and squeeze that clip on there hard. And yeah, should be, hopefully that's the only issue. Thankfully, my car didn't go into limp mode or anything like that, because it was getting like the sensor worked, but because the shaft was not pushed in all the way on the sensor itself, it wasn't spinning the sensor, sending back the reading for the speed on the car. You know, it wasn't in those 2 notches. So yeah, anyways, fixed the car. She's running great now. I mean, I'm parked at my house, so, you know. Anyways, you guys take care.